Hey everybody, good morning. So we had a little line of thunderstorms that fired up a little bit early, and this was along an outflow boundary, and a leftover low-level jet from last night's storms. So they're stretching from all the way from Chillicothe down through Odessa, Harrisonville, El Dorado Springs. This is just going to be primarily for the threat of hail. So that's definitely something we're going to kind of keep an eye on. We do have another round possibly around 11, another round around 2 to 3, and another round around 8, 9, 10 o'clock. And any of these thunderstorms throughout the day today can produce the threat of severe weather. So this particular line of storms is primarily a hail concern. So, and again, this is just kind of, we're away from the front, we're away from the dry line. There's not a whole lot going on here other than these storms decided to fire up along a leftover low level jet as well as an outflow boundary from last night's storm. So we're going to continue to watch these. And again, I'm not expecting anything other than maybe a strong wind gust and maybe up to 2-inch hail associated. So as you guys know, Vernon, southeast Bates County, as well as southwest Henry County, placed under a severe thunderstorm warning, and that's because of this cell right here that has a pretty good hail core on it right now. So we are keeping a kind of a close eye on this right now. It is getting ready to cross 49 Highway just south of Rich Hill, probably clip the east side of Rich Hill, but very impressive hail core. So definitely have, probably inch and a half hail on the ground just southwest of Rich Hill right now. So of course this is going to be moving off to the northeast. We also have another little hail core almost over Garden City right now, coming across 7 Highway. So we will be watching that cell as well. There is a special weather statement out for Kingsville, Holden, for parts of Cass and Johnson counties. But definitely the strongest cell is going to be down here just south of Rich Hill right now. So we got a long day ahead of us, everybody. We got a long day ahead of us. We've got several rounds of thunderstorms throughout the day. We have been increased in that risk of severe weather by the Storm Prediction Center here about 30 minutes ago. Some of us are in a level 4 out of 5 on their threat assessment. So we definitely have some volatility in the atmosphere around west central Missouri throughout the entire day. So we are definitely going to be watching this very closely as we go through the day. I am going to be sitting right here for the day. I don't think I'll go live right now for very long. I just kind of want to jump in here, let you guys know what we have going on, why we have a severe thunderstorm warning. I'm not expecting this entire line to be severe warned, but just a couple spots along this line might have the strength to put down maybe some larger hail, but that's really the only primary threat with this. So let's take a look at the let's go with the day 1 categorical. So as you can see, Bates, Henry, St. Clair, Vernon, Benton County. We are in that higher risk, that level 4 out of 5 for severe thunderstorms for today. So again, the entire area needs to be, all of West Central Missouri needs to be kind of paying attention to the weather today on your apps, on Radar app on your phone. Make sure you have multiple ways to be able to receive warnings and watches and advisories. Weather radio seemed to be working just fine today, which that is great news. I think they have eliminated any issues going forward, but again, you don't want to just solely rely on that. Make sure you have more than one way to receive these warnings. Good morning, everybody. So pretty much answered everybody's questions in chat there already. Good morning, Susan, Misty. Hopefully everybody's getting along well this morning. And again, we are watching this particular cell. This is the troublemaker for early this morning. This looks like it's right over Rich Hill. It is moving to the northeast, so those in Pleasant Gap, Spruce, Montrose, Appleton City, Hudson, schools. I'm not sure if Hudson is still in session or not today, but they have that possibility of seeing up at least quarter-inch hail or larger. So under a severe thunderstorm warning for about the next 45 minutes. For areas in Bates and southwest Henry County. Hudson School is out. Okay, thank you, Victoria. I appreciate that. So, is the setup for this afternoon being affected? It can. It can, Jenna. Right now, it's not, because we're going to have enough time in between. The dry line and the main front that'll be coming through tonight, they're still way out west right now. So, one thing that happened yesterday, one thing that happened for southwest Missouri, they stayed under clouds and rain for most of the day. So that pretty much inhibited any kind of storm formation. And this might help us, actually. So kind of depends on when this line of storms will finally make its exit out of our area. But this very well could help us as we go into this afternoon and tonight and lessen our chance for severe weather in west central Missouri, but we still need to be weather aware. As of right now, I still think we'll have plenty of time for the atmosphere to recover for those storms later on this afternoon. And really, our biggest threat is going to be coming into the middle of the afternoon into the evening hours is really when our biggest threat. That's when the dry line is going to be close to us, as well as the cold front moving through. So, all right, guys. So I don't know if I'm going to stay on much longer since we just have this. We just have these couple cells out there, and again, hail is going to be the primary concern with these. any of these storms along this line. And again, they formed along a leftover boundary from last night, as well as a kind of a decaying low-level jet that's left over. So basically what a low-level jet is we have warm surface here. We have a warm surface here on the ground. And then at nighttime, it cools off. Radiation cooling up above us is cooler than the ground surface. So you get a difference in pressure. And that's what creates wind. And so you get this low-level jet stream along the surface. And that aids in thunderstorm development. And that's what aided last night's thunderstorm development here. We didn't have any severe weather, but man, it was loud last night. Man, that lightning was like right on top of the house. But we still have that kind of left over today, this morning, and these thunderstorms just firing up along that line. But everything else, I think we've already touched on as far as what our threats are for today. I do appreciate everybody jumping in onto our live stream. And again, we have a severe thunderstorm warning for southern Bates and southwestern Henry counties for the threat of large hail. Now, we did have the emergency manager from Rich Hill and Bates County. They did just turn in a report of quarter-size hail in Rich Hill. So it is producing some severe hail in Bates County right now. And I will be monitoring radar and of course everything here at the home weather station today. I'm just planning on staying here. I have everything up and ready to go. Actually, I was right here right when I was looking at that cell down in Bates County, thinking, man, so that could have some pretty good hail in it. Then we get under a severe thunderstorm warning. So I am going to be here monitoring. I'm going to be taking a look at the models, probably giving an update, probably around the noon time, if not before. If we get more thunderstorms moving through around the 11 a.m. time frame, that's what some of the models are indicating. I will definitely come live again and walk you guys through those storms. But I have a feeling this line of thunderstorms here is probably going to stabilize our atmosphere until the afternoon time. So once this line of storms move off, we'll kind of heat up to 78, 80 degrees or so. It'll be kind of sticky out there. And then we'll have that threat for thunderstorms in the early afternoon, probably sometime between 2 and 3 o'clock. So let's see here. There's my mama on here. We got storm chaser Jeff Smith. He's heading south to Pittsburg, Kansas area. So again, he's going to be stationed right down in here. Actually, a couple of our storm chaser groups are going to be stationed right down here in Pittsburg, where they have easy access to come into West Central Missouri, be watching St. Clair, Henry, Bates, Vernon counties down in this area. Look to be kind of a hot spot this afternoon. We'll have to see how these storms react as the front and dry line moves across the state of Kansas closer to us, to see if the atmosphere is gonna be able to recover. But right now it's looking like it's gonna be able to recover just fine. We do also have another special weather statement for Vernon County down near Nevada. And again, this is going to be for that potential of large hail. That's really going to be our primary concern with any of these cells. It's just a hail threat. That's it. The ingredients aren't there. The low level parameters is not there for anything more than just hail with any of these storms that formed this morning. And of course, I think I answered all the questions in chat as far as how all the counties are looking for today. We've discussed that. So, does look like this cell here in Bates County is starting to lose a little bit of the punch, but there's still another 35 minutes left. Unless this thing should happen to maybe build back up, they may want to. We may see that actually be canceled early. So we'll just kind of watch it. But it does look like it is starting to weaken down here now that it is east of Interstate 49 and east of Rich Hill. It is beginning to weaken a little bit. We still have probably pea-sized hail ongoing from Centerview, Holden, Kingsville, and just kind of northwest of Warrensburg right now. Maybe some pea-sized hail and some torrential rains going on up here. So that's another thing we need to be watching for too, is going to be the hydrology issue with rainfall. So we picked up, I've seen reports anywhere between 3/10 to a little over of an inch of rain last night. And then we have anywhere between 2 to 3 inches of rainfall coming in today through tonight. So we'll have to keep an eye on the rivers, keep an eye out for any kind of flooding concerns. I do believe a couple of our counties, I think Vernon and St. Clair County, are under a flood watch here for today. So we'll be kind of watching that as well, and especially if these cells. One thing that we're watching for tonight's storms is, instead of having little discrete cells, we're going to be watching for these things that congeal into what's called a MCS. That stands for a mesoscale convective system. It's just a big old word for a huge cluster of thunderstorms. If that happens, our tornado threat goes way down, but the flooding concerns, the hail threat, the straight line wind threat is still there for thunderstorms tonight. So we're not sure exactly what mode of thunderstorms we're going to get, whether we're going to get clusters of storms, supercell storms, or if it's going to develop into this MCS, this mesoscale convective system. But Storm Prediction Center does feel that, cluster of storms, even if it did go into a MCS, we'd still have a very high chance to see some strong straight line winds in excess of 70 miles per hour with these storms tonight. So we're just going to have to remain weather aware as we go throughout the day. And again, several rounds of thunderstorms expected here in our area. Brandon, I put a timeline on all the social media platforms earlier today. Now, it's on our page at Subby's Weather Talk KDKD, but really having 3 rounds of storms, one coming in about 11 a.m., another 2 to 3, and then another 8 and 9 tonight. All of them can produce strong to severe thunderstorms. All of them can produce all modes of severe weather. However, the only nick in that right now is this line of thunderstorms that has developed along an outflow and a decaying leftover low-level jet from last night's storms. So this very well may stabilize our atmosphere enough where we're going to be waiting till this afternoon to see any more additional thunderstorms as the dry line and cold front move through. All right, I think I answered all the questions, guys. They did go ahead and cancel that severe thunderstorm warning for Bates and Henry County. You can still expect maybe some pea-sized hail with any of these thunderstorms here, but right now we wasn't expecting any severe storms, but a couple of them just got strong enough to produce some quarter-sized hail in Rich Hill. But otherwise, this will continue to move off to the northeast, and then we'll have to wait and see when our next line of thunderstorms will be building in. Some of the data is suggesting around 11, but I think this might stabilize out our atmosphere enough where it will probably be around 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon when round number 2 comes in. And then again, later on this afternoon into the evening hours, a very strong line of thunderstorms will be moving through west central Missouri. So we all need to stay weather aware today. I'll be right here monitoring, right here at the weather center here from the house. I've got our sky cams up. I've got 3 radars up. I'm talking with the National Weather Service. So I'm going to be doing this for the whole day. Got plenty of coffee and snacks. So I'll make sure to get all the information to you guys as soon as I have them here. All right, guys. So again, those of you down in Vernon County, just a special weather statement for some pea-sized hail, maybe up to the size of nickels. But for everybody else along this line of storms here in west central Missouri, expect some frequent lightning, some, brief periods of heavy rain, and maybe some small pea-sized hail with the strongest of storms. If any of these cells should happen to gain enough strength and maybe put down some larger quarter-size hail, I will definitely be back on and give you guys an update. So we will get everything in line here. Keep you guys updated throughout the late morning and into the afternoon. So again, if anybody has any questions, feel free to message me on Facebook or through our website at subbiesweathertalk.com. Everybody have a great rest of your morning.